Hi, my name is Alisher, and today I have a pretty special video for you guys. It's going to be about taking a deep look at a very real campaign that was actually profitable and analyzing it and showing you what are the settings that we used during that test. Hopefully, this video will kind of like help you understand how we work and hopefully will help you start in on your own search arbitrage journey. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive right into it. So the campaign in question is this one, right? So its category is high school diploma. So it's basically promoting education. And the domain is as follows. It's school diploma. So it matches our category, which is pretty much always a good idea, right? Let's take a look at some of the numbers that we see on the right. So mainly I would like to focus on visitors. Now that's 16,000 visitors in 2 months. This campaign ran from November till December of 2023. I specifically picked an older campaign just so that I don't leak anything. And if you try to recreate this specific vertical, it most likely would not work because again, this is a pretty old data and nowadays the market have changed quite a bit. Okay. All right. So let's go back to visitors, right? What is it? Let me remind you how our path looks like, right? So we have our landing page. We have our kind of like secondary landing page where the revenue event happens by clicking visit website. And then we have the advertiser, upstream advertisers page, whatever it is they are promoting, right? So visitors are the people that have clicked on our ad in, for example, TikTok and have appeared on our first landing page over here, right? So these are the visitors. Then we have they're basically pretty much always going to more or less equal the lender visitors, okay? Then we have lender searches. Now, what is that? That is a person clicking one of the three or more options. It can be like 5 options on landing page sometimes, but regardless, it's them choosing one out of 3 options and appearing on the second landing page. These are the lender searches. And then we have revenue events. Now, revenue events are a person clicking visit website, right? So this is our revenue event. So basically it shows us how many people appeared on the landing page, how many people have chosen one of the 3 options, and then how many people actually clicked on the final most important link, okay? All right, so the CTR or click-through rate, it shows us in percentage how many people out of all the visitors actually managed to go ahead and click on that final most important link, visit website, that button, I mean, right? So the higher the CTR, the better. The amount of CTR that is normal can vary highly between different verticals and between different geos. What we've noticed on average is that if you have a CTR above about 20%, that's already is pretty good. If you have something above 40%, that's already amazing. Okay, so shoot somewhere between that, between 20 to 40%, that would be the norm. Again, it also again will depend highly on your vertical and how you promote that vertical. Okay, but again, the higher the CTR, the better. Here we have 35%, which is quite good. Then we have RPC, or revenue per click. In this specific case, it's actually revenue per revenue event, right? So out of all of these clicks, every single click gave us $1.36, right? That number is again pretty good. I will go ahead and tell you that this campaign was running on multiple tier 1 countries at the same time. And for tier 1 countries, that's actually a pretty good payout. Usually we see around $1 or so for tier 1 countries. This time around we have 1.36, which is again quite good. Then we have RPM, which is revenue per milli. That's it. If I'm not mistaken, it's how much revenue did we get per 1,000 visitors. I'm pretty sure. Then we have RPV. That is a revenue per one visitor, right? And then we have just the total revenue of how much did we earn from all those conversion events, all right? Okay, so now we have taken a look at like the overall data on this campaign. Let's just go ahead and see more in depth what this campaign is all about, okay? All right, so what can we see from this data, right? We can see that this campaign wasn't running necessarily consistently. It's being stopped multiple times and then renewed again and then stopped. And then it kind of like lost any traffic on it on the December 27th, okay? So that's, again, one of the most amazing things about Domain Active is just how detailed their statistics page is. You can see already just how much information is here, how much you can analyze and get from this. It's quite amazing. Okay, all right. So yeah, actually there it is. There's all the things that I was talking about, the revenue events, the CTR, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so over here, what we have is, let's see, the split between devices. Obviously, most people came from mobile because we were advertising this campaign mostly in TikTok, which is a mobile app, of course. Then we have the split in terms of countries, right? Where we advertising, as I said before, it's mostly tier 1 countries, and so that we have Great Britain, we have CH, which is Switzerland, we have DA, which is Germany, CA, which is Canada, US, which is United States, etc., 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 right? We can see how the payout differs between countries. Usually, on average, the US would have the highest payouts, but in this particular case, it seems like Switzerland had extremely abnormally high payouts, perhaps back in the day in like November, December 2023. For some reason, Switzerland had really rich upstream advertisers that were like giving out money essentially. Yeah, it's very rare to see that number being this high. Okay. All right, and yeah, Great Britain also looks actually really good. 1.7 payout is, or 69 in this case. It's very good. Okay, so again, this is already all the things you can analyze, and one of the best things that you can do is analyze keywords and how do they perform, right? So for that, I will go to Set Lender Keywords, open it in the new tab, and then I will go ahead and click on the multi-key reports. And with that, I will be able to see how did each keyword perform in each country. So for that, I will click on country, and then I will click on lender keyword, okay? And then press submit. All right, well, let's take a look. So at this point, the keywords are sorted by which ones brought the most revenue, right? So let's see, before we take a deeper look into this data, let's take a look at what was the keywords that we have put, kind of like instructed to be put into this campaign. Like which keyword did we wanted to see? It's high school diploma online, high school diploma near me, online degree, online school, free high school diploma. That is not compliant. I think back in the day, we were just testing the water. Maybe put this by mistake, I'm not sure. But yeah, nowadays I would recommend to not use keywords that have the keyword free in them. Okay, then finish high school online, high school diploma for adults, finish your diploma. Okay, and let's take a look at those keywords. Again, these are the keywords that you kind of like request Google to show. But at the end of the day, Google themselves will decide which keywords are the best to be picked. Okay, so let's take a look. As we can see, the top keywords for both Great Britain and Switzerland are hospitality management courses. That is not one of the keywords that we requested. So Google have decided this is going to be the best, and they show, and that keyword brought the most revenue at the end of the day. So that was like a keyword that was added by Google essentially. Yeah. Okay, so then we have the free high school diploma. It's again, as I said, the one that is not necessarily compliant. In cases like this, it's best to be transparent and talk to your feed provider about this. If they're okay with it, it's fine to run. But I feel like most of the time, it's recommended to not use the word free at all. Okay, but in this case, as we can see that it was doing okay, like but it also had much lower payout than something that is not free, right? So perhaps if this this keyword, the free high school diploma online, was removed sooner, this campaign could have earned more money, for example, right? Okay, let's take let's see more. So high school diploma for adults, that is the one that we requested. Hospitality management, again, still showing good numbers. Free high school diploma online, and that's again the free one, once again showing bad numbers. So once again, usually free keywords are not that great as well. So you can see that yourself by the payouts. Even Switzerland, let's go back to it, right? So as we can see, the payout on Switzerland in this case is extremely high. I feel like it was probably quite lucky that this happened because again, this is abnormally high RPC. But hey, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you find something unique and different, and maybe it is a good idea to promote education in Switzerland, you know? So yeah, sometimes you just, this is what the search arbitrage is all about. You keep trying new verticals, new geos, and then one day you can just strike gold like that and have really good RPC and get some really good money from that. Okay. All right. So yeah. So basically, as we can see, this is where you can do a lot of optimizing on your keyword level by removing keywords that are not performing as well and by adding keywords that perform really well. So what I recommend to do to copy this keyword and add it into the order list so that it would show up even more often, right? And also what I would recommend is to kind of like create a new domain that has the same name as the keyword that you're kind of like trying to target. So it would be like hospitality management courses dot and your .com, like, or whatever your domain choice would be, right? That can be also helpful. All right, so there's that, and yeah. So again, thanks to the amazing tool for analyzing keywords in Domain Active, you can like optimize your keywords quite a lot. In this case, they didn't do a good enough job. I feel like it could have been better, but regardless, it is what it is. All right, so now we have taken a look at the campaign on the domain active level. Let's move on to Clicklflare and what kind of settings are we using in Clicklflare. Okay, so let's go. All right, so this is our campaign in Clicklflare. And as we can see, it had about 5,500 in costs and 7,600 in revenue. As a result, we have a 2,100 in profit. That is about 40% ROI or return on investment, right? So it's essentially like the percentage of how much we won, right? Or how much we increased our initial investment. In this case, it's about by 38%. Okay, and we can see that one of the most important metrics is, of course, cost, revenue, and profit. These and ROI. These are usually like the main four, but another important ones are the CPA, which is cost per action, or in this case, it's acquisition. It's essentially cost per the conversion, right? Per revenue event. So basically, we spend 90 cents to get every revenue event, and then we have the dynamic payout. That's basically how much did each revenue have brought back. That's another way to call RPC, right? In this case, it's called dynamic payout. It's 125. So Cloudflare shows it's a bit less than domain active. It just happens because it will take a little too long to explain as to why, but it is what it is. Okay, it's just that Cloudflare has unfiltered conversions, while domain active shows the filtered conversions. So yeah, let's not get too deeply into this. It will take too long. But anyway, as you can see, because it's cheaper to gain conversions and than we actually get out of every conversion, this is where we start getting our money. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the settings of this campaign. So again, we have the name, we have the traffic source, which is TikTok, country, global. We never usually limit that on the Cloudflare level. We only limit that on TikTok level if needed. Okay, device type, all devices, model CPC. We leave it at 0 at cost value, and the model can be anything you want because we already are getting our costs from the pixel. Let's take a look at the pixel itself. So here are the settings for our pixel. It's the event type is view content. That's because Domain Active by default uses view content, while a lot of the other feed providers are using complete payment as their main event type. Okay, but again, for Domain Active, we're using view content, and we also add here at the end content ID and offer ID. That's what Cloudflare has recommended for us to do, and that's why we've been doing that ever since. Okay, so that's the pixel settings. Let's go back to the campaign. Let's see. Let's go to the destination folder. This is where we attach our offer, right? This is an offer is what connects Cloudflare to Domain Active. As we can see, everything is the usual. All the macros from the template is here. Make sure that they are kind of like highlighted gray like that. It means that they're working correctly. And so that's our offer. And when everything is done, we usually go to tracking tab and click on the first link and put that link into Cloudflare. Into TikTok. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to our final step, which is TikTok, and analyze it a little bit. Okay, so here's our TikTok page. As we can see, our costs match with what we had in Cloudflare. Okay, and yeah, we can also see stuff like again, CPA, cost per action. As we can see, it's also a little bit different from what we saw on Cloudflare. In Cloudflare, it was 90 cents per action. Here, it's $1. Again, these kind of differences is quite normal. It's because each system has their own algorithm as to how they kind of filter out conversions. So again, it is what it is. But yeah, again, there's a lot of information that you can learn from here if you want. But yeah, it will take a little too long to go in depth what everything is about over here. But again, it's like the most important thing is the CPA and the CPC usually. So basically, again, how much does it cost for the user to click on your ad? And the CPA is like how much does it cost to actually make a conversion? So these are the two most important ones usually, and of course the costs is the most important one, obviously. Okay, all right, let's take a look at the settings of that campaign. And I click on edit over here. We focus on the website conversion. There's the campaign name and the budget over here. All right, so but the most interesting stuff usually happens on the ad group and the ad level. So let's go to them. All right, so if we press edit, we'll be able to see all the settings. All right, so as we can see, here's the name. There's the name of the pixel that we have used. The optimization event is actually view content, but because the campaign is quite old, it for some reason changes to 146, but it is view content over here. Okay, so the placement is TikTok without global app bundle or Pangle. That's we got recommended by TikTok themselves to not use them as the traffic quality in there is quite low even up to this day. Everything over here is enabled. We have, as I said, the tier 1 countries over here, right? We don't necessarily here, we did not target anybody specifically. We left it quite open to all ages. And let's see, again, everything over here is just as wide as possible in this case. And the budget is $20 per day, but I'm pretty sure that it got lowered during like as the campaign started to die out a little bit. I'm pretty sure that during like its high time, it was probably like $100 at least a day, probably more. Okay, and again, optimization goal is conversions, and other than that, everything is pretty normal. Okay, all right, yeah, everything is quite standard. So let's go ahead. Before we jump into the ads, let's take a look at some of the data of the campaign and like what was going on. Let's see. So one of the great things about this is that we can see which days were more successful, where the spending was, and how, in this case, it was actually quite inconsistent as to when it was working and when it was stopped. We usually recommend for you to be more consistent with your campaign spending and like do not turn it off like that. Okay, and again, more data over here. Lot of interesting things. Again, you can see daily how well did each day perform, how much was spent, etc., etc., etc. You can take a look at the, let's see, audiences of like which ages clicked more, so that perhaps in the future you can decide to focus on more on like, let's say 25 to 35 and stuff like that, or maybe like you can focus more like maybe we need to target female demographic a little bit more. It's just all interesting stuff to take a look at. You can also, again, take a look at which countries kind of like took the most traffic, which is obviously United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, etc., etc. And you can also take a look at sub-regions, which is interesting. So yeah, here's that. And let's finally take a look at the ad itself that was used in this specific campaign. This one, I believe. Let's take a little preview of it first. All right.
No high school diploma. No high school diploma. Career training is still possible. Train to be a medical assistant at our college. Finish in as few as 10 months. Swipe left to see your option.
So here's the ad that was used in this campaign. There were other ads, of course, but this one, if you take a look at it, it brought in the most revenue. Okay, so nothing really special or like really, let's say like nothing really out of the norm. This creative, like if you think about policy, right? The main kind of alarming things about this specific ad that we would nowadays, with more experience and really talking and working a lot with our feed provider, what I would warn people about would be using train to be a medical assistant at our college, saying that it's basically saying that you are a representative of that specific college that is trying to find people to study, to be students for that college. We cannot mimic or pretend to be that specific college. So what I would recommend for you to do is, instead of saying our college, just to say train to be a medical assistant at a college, right? Just saying that college in general, and that would already be far more compliant and be far more normal. Another thing is finish in as few as 10 months is also kind of like a promise. At least it's kind of like softened by the fact that it says you might be able to finish it in 10 months, but it will probably take longer. But still, mentioning any exact numbers can be a bit of a like gray area, and I would recommend consulting with your feed provider of choice before trying something like that. And also swipe left to see more your options. Again, some feed providers might react negatively to it, some might be more positive towards it. For us, we were allowed to say swipe left, but then to see your options or option, I would say, again, maybe in a gray area. Usually what we would do, like swipe left to search for options, or like to find what you like or something like this, or swipe left to learn more. That would be the usual the usual call to action that we would use at the end of the video. Okay, so now we've taken a look at the creative. Let's have a quick look at the settings of that creative so that we can have a complete look everything that goes into this campaign. So as we can see, this particular campaign uses smart creative ads. That is completely up to preference. Some of our buyers like it, some of our buyers don't. That is completely up to you. I would recommend just experimenting with trying it, and then kind of like if you don't like it, then not using it. But again, it's completely up to each and every buyer. All right, so here we have the identity. Again, there is no picture on the identity. Might as well upload it. Why not? But also, we didn't really see too much of an impact if your identity has a picture or not. So here's a very basic, simple one: high school diploma. There's the ads basically, and then there's the text. Career training is still possible. Enroll now for a high school diploma. Finish your high school diploma online. It's never too late to get your high school diploma. Find adult education centers near you. So pretty normal text. Then we have the call to action, which is also quite normal, which is apply now. And basically there's the link that we would use, that we would like add from click there. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, as you can see, because we have smart creative ads on, we kind of have like 3 of the same ads as our top over here, just this same ad with different ad text attached to that ad. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you learned something new from it. Hopefully it will help you on your own search arbitrage adventure, because it's a very interesting one, and I feel like it's not only like an opportunity to earn money, but it's also an opportunity to learn a lot of new things, to experiment and be even creative in your ads. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. I will answer them to the best of my ability. And thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.